shifting realities. The shift. Hi, Wilo. I said hi before I saw it. I just said Wilo joined, so I can see that you're here. I'm so excited about this live. Good afternoon, Wilo. Beautiful souls. I am so excited about this live. I'm like, I have so much to say, and I have all the answers to answer this. But I don't have all the answers. I have the answers within me. You have the answers within you, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I have a lot of answers. That is super, like, a lot of people are asking me questions. I'm like, I just have to go live. Hi, Kim. So we're going to be talking about the shift today that happened. That it already happened and is still happening. I'm so excited. So I'm going to wait till a few more people jump on, and I'm going to answer, hi, stories within. I'm going to answer all the questions. I'm going to first ask you guys if you saw my video about the shift that happened. And that is happening in the process. We are in the shift. And I know you guys feel it. Hi, Adam. Hi, Cece. I have my tea soup bowl. Hi, Georgia. You saw the video, Kim. So there's some people who are saying, I don't feel the shift. I don't know what's happening. I'm not really, everything is bad still, this, that. And I made another video explaining, but there's only so much I can say in a video. So I'm excited to tell you guys. Hey, everybody who's joining, you feel the shift strongly, right? Yeah. So, but do you know what it is? Like, people are like, I feel it. I claim it, but what is it? And I'm going to tell you a theory. And this theory really resonates with me. And this theory has come to me in my meditations and in real life. And I had a talk with Joey yesterday, and I asked him, I'm like, do you feel the He's like, don't even, he knew right away. We were just like, we understood. So we're going to actually be doing on his, we're going to do a podcast together about this. I got Boundary Book courtesy of Wilo. Oh, that's so nice, Cece. That's awesome. You felt something, Patty. I hope you claim it a lot, because recently my family is actually a little more rich. Rich in everything, right? You got a bunk bed. Oh, that's what you got, a bunk bed? Is that what you mean? I love bunk beds. Oh my God. I'm feeling low for 2-3 days. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna wait a couple more people jump on, and we're gonna just I'm gonna answer anything that you guys listen. I didn't even have, okay. So I felt the shift within me, right? You have awesome videos. I just watch it. Thank you so much. I love you, Georgia. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate your kindness. So listen, I'm super excited. You can see my excitement. I'm like, yay, we did it. Because it's like, what's happening? And I'm like, oh my God, it's everything in my reality confirmed the shift, even though I felt it. And even though I felt it without meditating, right? Hi, Nina. A lot more intense experiences with higher dimensional beings, right? 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 And they're not coming. Listen to this. So I'm going to tell you guys a theory, the theory that I got in my meditation. I'm going to be talking a lot more detail. But what did I feel like? What do you mean? So listen, I just want to let you start with this thing with saying, I am not psychic. I am not psychic. I miss you too, Nina. I feel low, emotional, again, stuck. Okay, so listen to this. Listen. Super exciting. I'll tell you guys about the shift. I'll tell you what to expect with this shift. And I'll tell you what the heck it is, what's happening. And this is, once again, it's a theory, right? It's a theory. So when did you start feeling it without the meditation? I would say within the last 4 days. Like I was already feeling it. Everything was happening. Like I was manifesting like this. Like crazy. Like thought was already happening. And I was like, I think of someone, every time I thought of someone, they would call me, and like, I was like, I have to go do this. And then somebody would come and give it exactly what I was looking for. I was like, whoa, I was literally manifesting physical, like, oh, I need to get a pen. I turn around, the pen is there. Like it was happening for like a week. And I was like, I kind of just brushed it off. Right. And then I'm going to explain to you what happened with the shift. I'm going to explain what's happening. And I'm going to answer any question. So I am very into science. I don't know about you guys, but me, science and spirituality are like this. Okay? So I'm super into science. I need science to prove things. Even though I'm very spiritual, you need to prove, scientifically, I need something that is telling me that this is true. Some people, listen, they're awesome and they could just believe. And we were talking about that, Joey and I, and Joey could totally just believe. And I really admire that about him. He just feels something and he just believes it, and that's his reality. I'm like, I need science. I need to know the details on a quantum level, on an astro level. And since I'm little, I've been into science. I am in sciences and I do a lot of chemicals, a lot of making art. I just love it. Okay, Georgia, so you're going to love this, okay? Because I'm going into the science today behind the shift. Okay? So I'm on level 3000. Awesome. So the science behind the shift. I'm going to explain it to you. And the thing is, I'm going to tell it to you without telling it to you in a scientific, my friend says scientifical. That's her word. And it's stuck in my head today. A scientifical way. I was like, that is good. So scientifical way. I'm going to tell you guys on the way that I explained it to my family. Hi, Manal. I'm going to explain it. Hi, Petra. Tell me as I was 5. Exactly. Well, not as if you're 5. I just want to say it in a way that everybody understands, because if you hear quantum physicists talk and they're like the subatomic particles and you're like, what? So you're just like, yeah, I get it. That's so cool. But I'm going to explain to you on just like regular terms. Okay. Your energy is very inviting and I'm here for it. Awesome. So I'm going to explain. It's in The Office. Oh, I didn't even never watch The Office. I know. Okay. Anyway, let's get back on track. So you guys are familiar with dimensions, right? So like 2D, like 2-dimensional is 2-dimension, right? This is not the book. Like this is 2-dimension. So I write like, I love you. Okay. I'm going to write it. It's going to be a little bit weird on your screen. You're going to see it obviously because this is a mirror effect. But this is the 2-dimension, right? It's just flat on the paper. This is a 2-dimensional thing that's happening here. So there's 2-dimension, third dimension. We're in the 3rd dimension, right? Then there's 4th dimension, 5th dimension, 1st dimension. Like there's all different dimensions. So we're going to see that. I'm going to explain it to you kind of with a book. And this is why I have this book, but I got to rip off this page because I wrote things that I want to write to you guys. Okay. So picture this is a dimension, this one, and this is a dimension. Okay. It is a bad thing. No, you'll feel it. Don't worry, Cece. You'll feel it. Okay. And everybody's in the shift. It's not like, oh, I didn't make the shift. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So picture it. This is how I'm explaining. This is a dimension. This is a dimension. And in between, they're densities. So as I explained in the other, this is the quantum theory. Okay. So scientifically, there is the quantum physicists, the ones who are open to spirituality, have a theory that We live in multiple realities simultaneously. I'll explain how. And I explain this to my boyfriend, my daughter, my stepdaughter, everybody. As we know, atoms come in and out of existence. Protons, neutrons, electrons, they come in and out of existence continuously. But I'm going to say millisecond to you guys, but it's definitely not a millisecond. We cannot see it. We cannot perceive. We're literally walking around, coming in and out of existence. We are made of atoms. Everything is made of atoms, but everything has different densities. So we come in and out of reality all the time, continuously. Because if you observe an atom and the protons, electrons, neutrons, all that. So imagine your little electron. We observe it it comes in and out of existence continuously. So scientifically, the science are like, well, that's what happens. It's just like electric signals. Imagine if we slowed that down. Slow it down. We are coming in and out of existence continuously, right? Where are we going when we come out of existence? And I say millisecond, but it is way beyond. And I'm going to talk to you guys about Einstein's theory of in and out of existence, but where are we going? So there is a theory that we jump into different densities. There is a multiverse around us that we can pop into another existence that's almost identical. So let's say, I'll give you an example. Yes, I'm going to be posting this live on YouTube. James gave me the idea because he couldn't come. He's like, please post this live. So I'll post it on YouTube. Okay. So, and I'm going to slow it down. I'll slow it down a bit so everybody understands. Atoms come in and out of existence. In and out of existence. We don't know where the hell they go. Nobody knows. Scientists, nobody can understand that. Scientists actually study molecules. There's quantum physics, which studies the small things, astrophysics, which studies the cosmos. But they have taken consciousness and they don't even acknowledge consciousness because we don't understand consciousness. Consciousness cannot be measured. 2022, consciousness cannot be measured. And we also have a subconscious that can't be measured. So here we are, all of us human beings walking around, coming in and out of existence. That's great. Like we're little electric beings and we have our figures and our things and everything is made out of atoms. Some things have, and if I'm not going to go too deep into that, otherwise that's going to get too complicated. But we are continuously coming in and out of existence. Where the hell are we going? The theory is we are going into other dimensions or other densities that are right beside us. So like, let's say now picture it like a book. Now this page, in my page here, in this shift, so we literally shifted densities. We don't shift dimensions. Possible we do. I'm just giving a theory here. But it's very hard to shift dimensions. Usually when you shift a dimension is death of the body. So when people pass on, they can shift dimension. They're no longer the three-dimensional body, right? So no, it's not like daydreaming. I'll give you an example, or dreaming. So this is the second dimension. Imagine this is 2D. And in 2D, we as third dimension. So let's say right now, I just said, okay, here, hold on. I'm going to do a heart. I'm going to draw a big heart, okay? Do not judge my heart. I totally wonked the heart. Okay, this is my heart, okay? I wonked up my heart. Okay, us as human beings, we're looking at this and we can see it. The heart cannot see itself. The heart only sees this way. The heart can only see this. If the heart had eyes, it could only see there. It cannot see above or below because it's two-dimensional. Us, as three-dimensional, I can look at the heart and be like, hey, look, there's a heart. And you're actually, and I could draw other things, like I could draw something here. a square, a line, a triangle, and then I could say, hey, heart, there's a triangle there. And what do you mean there's I don't see a triangle. There's a line beside me. So do you understand how the 2D can only see this? 3D, we can see this. 4D is beyond the physical body. So it's like the fourth dimension can see beyond what we see. We can't even comprehend what 4D is because we're in the three-dimensional world. But within the three-dimensional world and within the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5, like imagine that, there are densities here. So when you reach the 2, like all these densities that live in simultaneous realities, which can coexist side by side, it is known to be, it is a possibility that I'm telling you guys, okay? Like a 3D building, exactly. So imagine if we are looking at, if something else in the fourth dimension is looking at us right now, they're like, oh, look at them. They're stuck in their three-dimensional body. We can only see what's around us. Now, I'm going to throw you with some facts here, okay? Our subconscious can only our subconscious has can process the subconscious. Subconscious is things that you're unaware of. If you're wondering what subconscious is, you're not aware. We are not aware. Our subconscious mind processes over 400 billion of bits of information a second. The subconscious mind, when we look around, it is processing over 400 billions of bits of information per second. Our conscious mind, which what I'm telling you guys now, only processes 40 bits of information per second. 40. So what you guys are seeing now is about 40 bits of information. When you look around you right now, your subconscious brain is going 400 billion bits of information. 400 billion bits. And this is science. You can even Google it. It appears right away when you Google it, okay? So this is why I was overwhelmed as a child. That could be because we are living in the subconscious mind. When we're kids, we are babies. We live a lot in the subconscious mind, okay? So imagine bits of information, okay? You have bits of information, 400 billion bits. If you're not understanding it, see it as our subconscious mind processes everything, right? So we're looking around. Okay, recap from 2D again, okay? I'll recap. 2D is what's written on a paper. What you see is 2D, right? We live in the third dimension. 2D is flat, okay? Third dimension is like what we're seeing, 3D. We have 3D, okay? Fourth dimension is something that we don't even understand because we don't live in the fourth dimension. So there are things in the fourth dimension that we cannot comprehend. But if you go outside of yourself, you could comprehend the fourth dimension. And this is why when you hear people talk about meditation, we reach fourth dimensional being. So I have meditated, okay? And we are not in fourth dimension, okay? But we can observe in 4D. We can observe in 4D. I have done it. Many of us have done it. And when you observe in 4D is when you look around you and realize that everything is just an illusion. Meaning, all atoms are coming in and out of existence continuously, all the time. And you are observing everyone. And by the way, we can't change physical realities like buildings and rocks and houses. Like you can't look at a house and all of a sudden it morphs into like a different house, right? We can't do that because collectively, and I'll explain that in a second, how we all shifted collectively. Collectively, we are part of one conscious mind. And I have scientific proof to explain that, okay? So collectively, we are all part of one conscious mind together. So when I see a house and you see a house, we see the same house. But we can change our perception of it internally. And I wrote this down, and I don't know where I wrote this down. Hold on a second. Because I got this in my meditation, and I wrote it down on my notes. Give me a second. Did I delete it? I think I deleted it. Where is it? Oh, no, here it is. Okay. We can't change our physical reality because that's part of the collective. We can only change something within that what we want to perceive. Our perception is our reality. It is not from the outside in, it's from the inside out. That's what I kept getting in my meditation. It is not coming from the outside in. Our reality is coming from the inside out. So we can be standing side by side. And sorry, my thing. We can be sitting side by side and see a different perception. Okay? I lucid dream. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna get on this. I'm gonna answer all your questions. If you guys want to know how cool this is, if you are familiar with physics, I think Georgia, you said you were into physics. It's what you're studying now, right? So this you learn in high school. Quantum entanglement. And if you haven't learned, I'll explain to you what Einstein thought of it. And what I am not going to say his name because I can't say his name properly. He's a German scientist, but it starts with the S, but I can't say it. Every time I go to say it, it sounds off, so I'm not going to say his name. So if you know about quantum entanglement, it is so cool. Two electrons that have quantum entanglement means that let's say like us, we have atoms, they're together. That could be like water. You know, water is just like you put a little bit of water and then you put more water, and all the little molecules, everything together just fuses together. Blood has quantum entanglement, right? Now listen to this. Yes, Greg Braden, I love him. Okay, let's go in. There was science. Hold on. I'm getting a little too excited, and I'm gonna lose my train of thoughts when I do this. This is why I don't believe in the high vibration, low vibration. We got to balance ourselves, because when you're too high vibration, you have a hard time expressing yourself because you're like, ah, ah. So it's almost like you have to ground yourself, right? So there was a research done, and Einstein did this. They took blood, they took blood and they separated it into 2 vials, and they brought it to a whole other lab. Another lab, not the same lab. Don't quote me on this. I don't know if it was another country, another city, but it was a whole other lab. And they put it under a microscope. And what they did is they added a substance, kind of like a poison, to the blood. And simultaneously, the blood in the other lab that hadn't been touched with anything reacted the same as the blood being poisoned. Quantum entanglement. So what they are thinking, scientists, so Albert Einstein was like, he believes in E equals mc squared, which is energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Okay? So imagine there's blood in the vial. They put the poison in this lab. There are a bunch of scientists, and they're looking, and the poison is reacting. The blood that's not being poisoned on the other end is reacting. Quantum entanglement is reacting the same way. So they had 2 theories, the scientists. E equals mc squared was basically energy travels. Means that this blood gave the energy to the other blood and traveled like times the speed of light squared, just traveled all the way to the other one and gave the information to react the same, right? The other scientist was like, I think it's an energy cord that we can't see. And I personally like the energy cord theory, meaning I have this here. I'm going to show you guys. Imagine there is a cord amongst hierarchies, amongst all of us. Okay, all of us. Now, I'm sorry to say this, but you are entangled with an ex for a certain amount of time. All your exes that you shared liquid, fluid, kissing, physical. I'm not even talking about spiritual stuff. I'm talking about physical stuff. Anybody that you even talk to, let's say you were beside me right now and I'm talking to you and I spit and maybe it lands in your mouth and we're just talking and we are exchanging. What's happening is that my liquid is going with your liquid, whatever. Yeah, super gross. Listen, if you have OCD, this could be maybe triggering. I'm very sorry about that. But this is called quantum entanglement. Okay. So imagine this cord. Now I'm just representing, this is a 3D cord. We don't understand 4D. We do not understand it as three-dimensional beings. We don't understand 3D, right? We don't understand, 4D. We understand 3D. So I'm going to show it to you in the three-dimensional, the way our brain processes it. So imagine that we are linked, our blood is linked to someone else. That's completely energetically linked to someone else. Okay? Or anything. We are walking around. I want you guys to picture this. And listen, I have not expressed this since I meditated and I was seeing a lot of these things coming, all this information, the downloads I was talking to you guys about. I get this download, and in my download, I'll tell you guys what I saw. I saw me and all of you guys all around the world with cords attached to each other. Okay? So I am attached to my friends, my family. I have friends that live in Germany. I have family that lives in Toronto. I have family that lives all around the world. And I have scientifically I've talked to them. So my spit there, I've hugged them. My cells went on their cells. And I have a cord now attached to all these people. But all of us have cords attached to people. And here we are walking around getting tangled up, which leads us to understand that we are one, because all those cords are not 3D. They're 4D. They are 4D cords. We can't see them. They're energy. It's just energy. And this is science, okay? This is a theory. Einstein believed that the theory was it sends information. The reason that he's kind of being disproved now by a lot of scientists, and they're saying that is a good theory and that's actually possible, but that could be also energy cords. The reason they're saying that is because now that's why it's confusing, but what if all theories are right? What if all theories are facts? Because if we can come up with it in our mind, so remember what I said at the beginning of this live? We process every day on our subconscious mind 400 billion bits of information per second. But we can only, on our conscious mind, we only process 40 bits of information per second. Per second, guys. So what if our subconscious knows? Because our subconscious is 4D. Do you understand? Our subconscious is a fourth dimensional being. That's why we can't measure it. There is not one scientist on earth right now is able to measure consciousness. Yet we all know it's there. What's making me talk right now? What gives my body life? What is this spirit thing floating around inside me? We don't know. Nobody can measure it yet. There has been no measure. And then some people are like, well, we die, we lose like 4 ounces. So is consciousness weighed? Can it be weighed? What if it's not? Do you understand? So why I'm telling you guys this, I'm trying to make you guys understand it on a different level, is that when scientists talk and they're trying to give you all these things and saying, oh, this is just a theory. I'm like, but if it's a theory and it's coming from you, then it's real. Then it's coming from you, it's real. So everything is real. Okay? And that creates a reality or to something. Okay, so so Alex Martinez, I don't know if you're disagreeing or agreeing with me, but whatever you're saying is true. So what you believe is your reality. It is your perception in the 3-dimensional world right now. What you believe, all of you guys, is your reality. And there is a science behind it. Okay? So the reason I say we all made the shift is I'm going to give you guys an example. Sorry, I was painting this week. So there's a lot of paint. Okay? This is my 2D with the painting. This is, let's say 3-dimension, 4th dimension, and these dimensions. And then some people are saying, well, I didn't do the shift, or I know people that didn't do the shift. If you believe that only some of us made the shift and not all of us, that is not true. In my belief, we jumped densities. We went from this density to this density. We didn't jump dimensions. Jumping dimensions means our body no longer exists. But I believe that we have jumped densities. The reason I believe this, and I'll tell you what happened to me, is there is people in my life. I'm not even going to talk, I'll talk about myself in a second, but there's people in my life, throughout my whole life, who have been completely shut off to spirituality. Completely shut off. I've been shamed for believing in astrology when I was a teenager. My whole class, there was one girl who was like, oh, that's cool. Everybody else was kind of like into it, but they shamed me, right? They're just, it doesn't make sense. There are people that were completely closed off to any type of spirituality or any type of internal reflection. And they just blame the world, blame the government, blame this, blame that. And there is a collective raise of consciousness that is happening. I have everybody around me that was closed off to any type of shift. What's the shift? Oh, you're crazy. Now, there is so much more people that are understanding this shift and this raise of awareness that people are saying, I'm not going to tell you who specifically. I was asked not to tell you, not to say anything, but a person that never, ever, ever thought of any type that we are in the 3-dimensional world and I go to job 9 to 5 and that's my job and that's what I do, is now saying, well, you know, everything happens the way I was here meant to be at this time because it's meant to happen the way it happened. And I'm like, is this what's happening? That's why my manifestation, yes. So manifestation in this density are working higher. They are faster. In this density, whatever you want to manifest will happen faster. But what happens faster is we are manifesting all the time. So if you sit there and you're trying to manifest, but on a general basis, you're in a bad mood and you're like, oh, life sucks. Screw the government. They're trying to control us. Screw the people. They're sleeping. Screw this. Screw whatever you want to do. Whatever. Or screw the people who are not vaccinated. Yes, like if you are caught up in your 3-dimensional mind, then you will attract people and things that will keep giving you to confirm your reality. So everything, if you believe we do not live and we're not living the shift and everybody's sick, then your reality will confirm your belief because what you believe is real. Let me repeat that. What all of you believe is real on a quantum level. Everything that you believe, your perception of reality is real. So if you believe that life and things are shit and everything is shit, life will say, oh, well, I'll give you shit because that's what you believe. It is your belief to the core. If you believe in God and this and that, and you believe that you have all these powers, that life will give you more. If you believe in a higher universe, if you, whatever your perception of reality is in this density, you will get it. So if you feel like everybody is sick around you, you will get more sickness. So this is the time now to make the shift of saying, hold on, look internally, because this shift now in this density, we are all about looking internally. There is duality, there's division, there is anger. Do you understand how we didn't jump? A quantum leap is, do you know what quantum means? People are saying a quantum leap. They think a quantum leap is like, that quantum, that's an astro leap. An astro leap is jumping like literally like crouching tiger, hidden dragon. What, I'm not saying it properly. You know, like they jump from, I have always wanted to do that. Anyway, that's an astro leap. That is some crazy, a quantum leap means like we made a quantum leap. It sounds like deep, right? It's like, dink. That's what we did. We shifted. It's like, dink. I shifted. Yay. And we could feel it. Can we talk about physical symptoms we may feel with the shift? The physical symptoms that you feel with this shift is dependent on your perception of reality. I was sick. I got a flu. I was pretty sick. I was criticizing myself in December. I was pretty good, like balanced, but I was still criticizing myself physically, emotionally. There was a couple of things. And then I said to myself, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want that. And I know how to make the shift within myself, right? I don't want to do this. I don't want to feel like this. So every time I go to criticize myself, I turn off social media. If I see that I'm trying to compare myself and I think that I'm lesser than people and this and that, or I think that everybody's sick, or I get upset about what's happening, the government controls or not just government controls. There's a lot of nonsense going around with all over the place, especially where I live. Apparently it's the joke of the country. We're the joke of the country where I live. And all this stuff. And I was so stuck in that. And I was like, I don't want that in my daily life. I don't want that. I want to wake up and feel good. What am I going to do in my daily life? And I made the shift inside. As within, so without. So I made the shift inside. How do we let go of quantum entanglements? Ooh, good question. So we are all quantum entangled. We cannot let go of it. It makes us a collective consciousness. Okay? I believe, this is my belief, but it's not scientifically proven, but emotion means energy in motion. The Latin word for emotion is energy in motion. So I have emotions for you guys. I do. I'm sure you do too. Maybe you don't like me. Maybe you like me. Maybe whatever. Okay. But I believe there is a quantum entanglement within the emotion. Even though I haven't met you, we are across the world, and guaranteed there is some sort of emotional quantum entanglement in between all of us. That's maybe a different thing that I cannot comprehend right now. Okay. I can't even go there. I tried to. For the last few days, I was like, how does that work? But I just imagine it as a cord. I have a cord linked to all of you guys, but in this energetic cord, right? Does this affect empaths more? No, we are all empaths. Every human being is an empath. Even narcissists are empath. The problem is a narcissist at about 2 years old was told not to feel. So a narcissist, literally, this is the narcissist, they let a wall go on them. So they have no empathy anymore. They have zero empathy. An empath that is still an empath as an adult just is still open to all the energy. But in this level, if you're an empath, you need to learn to own your own energy. We all are walking around, coming in and out of existence. That's what atoms do. The dense matter So you know how they used to think it was a dense matter in the middle of an atom, and it's not? It's protons, neutrons, electrons, all coming in and out of existence. We are walking electrical charges, scientifically. We don't know where it goes, right? So I believe we jumped into a density. What happens is you can focus and say, I want to jump to densities. I want to change that. And they say okay, there's another aspect that I'll explain it to you. Imagine can't help everyone. Alex Martinez, what do you mean can't help anyone? I don't know what's happening. I totally missed what they were saying. Physics, discrete quantity of energy, proportion, and magnitude of frequency. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, you guys can totally Google everything I'm saying. Okay? And I don't know if Alex is studying physics right now or he's Googling it, but you can Google. Everything I'm saying is on Google, and anything from quantum physics, okay, that I'm telling you guys. But I'm giving you guys the spiritual aspect that is the unknown. It's like, we don't know. Scientists, and so I have a friend that's a scientist, and I asked him, I said, I want you to know, he is not spiritual at all. He was never. Yes, I'm on YouTube. I'm going to be uploading this live, and the name is the same, Tanya Beauty Coach on YouTube. Okay? So how to not absorb other people's energy is the same with what I'm about to tell you, is owning your own energy. We are walking energy fields. If you walk in and allow other people to their energy to dictate your energy, is because there's a part of you that believes that you're not worthy, you're not good enough. There is a part of you, and that's usually the shadow part of you. And I'm going to not talk about it on this live. You can go on my YouTube and check it out. I am a shadow coach. What I do is, people think that they need to heal the shadow. I'm sure you've heard that. They're like, I need to heal my shadow. No. There is no healing of the shadow. You can heal your body. The shadow part of you need to love. There's no healing. Oh, I healed parts of my shadow. No. It is loving. Shadow work is not healing your shadow. It is loving your shadow. Your dark side, you need to love. Love has to be your main focus. Vibration of love has to be your main focus. If you don't love your shadow, if you heal your shadow, that means you don't want it anymore. You know how when you have a cut and you heal it, it goes away. The pain goes away, right? When you heal the cut, you're like, oh shit. And you close the cut and you heal it. You put a bandage. And now the pain, the scar is there, but the pain is gone. So people think they need to heal their shadow just like a cut. No. You can heal your sadness. You can heal your angers and heal your things. There is a shadow part of you that exists. Okay? There's a shadow part of you that exists. When you learn to love that part of yourself, love the person that you're like, no, my shadow is too. I've heard people say, oh my God, I don't want to deal. My shadow is a bitch. I'm like, good. Do you love that bitch? No, I'm healing it. I'm like, you cannot heal your shadow. Because when you start healing that part of yourself, you're not loving it. You need to love it. And when you love, and in this density, in this shift, you're going to learn that your darkness, you put light and love. Light is love. Light is love. You put light on your darkness. And then the darkness is not bad. And light is love, meaning put love on the darkness. You mean shadow is our own truth. Shadow is just half of you. We are half light, half dark. 50-50 in this third dimensional reality. 50-50 or 50-50, whatever it is. There is the yin yang, you know, the yin yang single. There is light in the darkness, and this yin yang is loved. Our shadow side is like, you know how you say, I don't love the moon? Like, I love the moon. I love the moon, and I love the sun. You have to love all of it. So the parts of you that you don't like are usually the parts of you that you look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I'm stupid. I'm so dumb. Oh my God. You know those little thoughts, you drop your pencil, you're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh my God, I can't do anything right. And the parts of you that you don't like about others. So if you don't like, I'll give you an example that I call myself out. I had a shadow part. I don't like that my dad can get very mean with his words. I hate that about him. What I hate about another is my shadow that is in my subconscious. I can't see it. Right? So maybe I can get really mean to others, but I suppress it. But it is a part of me. And sometimes when I'm triggered, I can say things that hurt other people. And I don't like it in myself. Therefore, I don't like it in others. So I have to learn to love that part of me. So then what you do, and go on, I'm not going to go into detail on this thing because I have a lot of videos. I've done a lot of lives on this. This video is more about the shift and what we're going through. No, if you are more dark than light, that's because you're unbalanced. But everybody has 50-50. Everybody has the light and the darkness. You choose what you want to go into. Everybody has 50-50. Every human being is born with half-half. Emotional light, emotional darkness. You choose what you want to go on. There is a choice that you choose. Some people choose light, some people choose dark. And then there's some people who choose both. And some people think the darkness is the devil. Therefore, they choose God and light and this. I don't want it. The devil, that's bad. Don't look at it. It's bad. It's negative. When in fact, it's just loving the darkness inside of you. And guess what? When you walk into a room and the whole room brightens up. So if you give love to your darkness, do you know, I gave love to my anger, and my anger is not very mean anymore. Because I gave love to it. My anger doesn't get mean. It's part of the human experience. We can't have light without the dark. Exactly. And you know the universe is not light, huh? The universe is darkness. At night, it's dark. Okay? The darkness is just absence of light. That's all it is. So it's not healing your shadow. Okay, let's get back to the shift. There's other things I wanted to say. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys ways, because I wrote it down, of what to do if you are not feeling the shift, or you feel like you're surrounded by people and you're not getting this whole like vibration. When you hate a manipulative person, does that mean you're manipulative? Yes. I am manipulative. I totally manipulate. I do. I still do it. And I love it about myself. And you know what's funny? My boyfriend loves my manipulation. He laughs at it. Because when I accept it in me, other people accept it in me. Let me give you an example. When I want, we have this amazing vegetarian Chinese food here. Delicious. And I was craving it not long ago. And I said, do you want to eat? So Wilo already knows because I've talked about this. I'm like, do you want to eat, do you want to order, I don't know, like Greek tonight? We can have like the Greek food, whatever. Or do you want the, with the peanut butter sauce and like the crunchy vegetables? And like when you're, what do you want? And my boyfriend laughs hysterically. He's like, well, I know what you want. Because I'm like, do you want this or do you want this? So I used to use my manipulation for bad because I suppressed it. If my manipulation I used to suppress it. I'm not manipulative. There's no way I'm manipulative. So I suppressed it. And then I would manipulate people and situations in a negative way because it was in the darkness. My shit was all hidden in the darkness. When I brought it to the light and I learned to love the manipulation part, now I'm using it for lightness. I'm using my my stuff that I used to hate about myself and about others, I'm now using it for fun stuff, like what food to get or what. Do you understand? That's all it is. Exactly. That's all it is. So, all right. The key, there are major keys in this density. Through the shift, there are major keys. I don't know if you want to write this down because this is what's going to happen throughout the year. Okay? Shadow work is accepting light and darkness. That is key number 1. In this year, through 2022, to accept that it's not all high vibration all the time and not just low vibration, because I know people that live in very, very, very low vibration and they're sick. And I used to live in low vibration big time. My body was sick. My mind was sick. I'm going to do a podcast with Joey. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to tell you guys about my suicide attempts and suicide survivor, all that stuff. I was living in the darkness and my life was reflecting that. Okay. And then there's some people that just live in the light. Both are not the human experience. Both are too. So the people who pretend to live in the light are very abusive, usually. People who are love and light are explosive. Explosive. They don't get mad often. They don't get upset often. But when they do, they crash because it's like, it's too much. So, oh my Lanta. Oh my God. I used to say that all the time, Beyond Viewed. Oh my Lanta. That's from the show there. Yeah. Anyway. So, when you learn to live in both, you'll know that it's okay to be here sometimes, but there are so many other dimensions and we can manifest on low and manifest on high because manifestation happens 24/7 all the time. You're manifesting right now. As you're talking, you're on this live. If you feel that, oh, my vibration, this is good. You can be judging me. It doesn't matter. We're manifesting 24/7. We are magnets all the time that we are attracting. Okay. But we attract what we feel in ourselves and we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. So I have attracted a lot of love in my life recently in the last few years because when I was young, I did not attract love. I repelled love. But I have attracted so much love in my life because now I love all of me, not just half. I used to attract guys that only liked me when I was happy and smiling and this and that. But if I had a bad day or I felt shitty and I felt all that stuff, they would be mean to me. They wouldn't call me or they would be rude. They're like, oh my God, you're manipulating. You're why you liked it. It was so because I didn't like all of me. So how the hell did somebody else can like all of me? So I realized I need to learn to love all of me. And guess what? I have a partner that laughs at my shadow. When my shadow comes out, he thinks it's funny. He's like, look at you all angry. And sometimes he gets triggered, but we don't go explosive. We don't get like that, right? So that's the key number 1 is learning to love everything as the human experience. Okay, the light and the darkness within you. It is not about healing the shadow. It's about loving the shadow. I love you too, Ozzy. The second key, I wrote down everything. There's one that I'm going to give you the last key. The second key is losing concept of time. It's actually important because the reason people say time is an illusion is that I want you to know. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, what time is it where you live? If you guys can let me know where you live, what time is it? Because here it's 1:54 p.m. $12:54, 10 p.m., 1:55, 1:55, 20:54, yeah. Okay, 6:54, 12:54, 10:52, it's 20:55. We also have that in Greece. We also have those times here, 11:55. Okay. So they're 4:15 a.m., 5:55 a.m. So guys, are you on my live right now? Well, that's a stupid question. I mean, that's like, okay, you're on my live right now, right? Time is an illusion. We are all living the same reality right now. You are listening to me right now. Yet the time is different. So me and you could be born at the exact same time, at the exact same moment. You're in the UK, you're born at this time, I'm born at this time. We are the same age, but in fact, if you look at the time, you're older. You're older than me, but you're not older. We were born at the same time. Around the world, we were born at the exact same time. So I just want to let you know that time is an illusion. Time is a new illusion. We function with time. We have to function with time in the three-dimensional world. To function on this world, it is essential because we work with the sun and the night and the dark. We sleep. We need to sleep because when we sleep, we heal. And when we're kids, we grow, right? So time is an illusion. But, and then so you're not older than me. If we are born the same time, but because of the time you're older, like nothing makes sense, right? It's like twins born on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Yeah, it's all an illusion, right? They invented time. I know, but it's essential for the three-dimensional world. It is essential. Okay, so we do need time in this reality for a lot of stuff. Let's say women's cycles, pregnancy, and all that stuff. Like we do function well with time. But if you close your eyes and you go into because you're able to access four-dimensional. We are four-dimensional beings living in a three-dimensional world. Our consciousness cannot be measured by the three-dimensional world. Ask any scientist. It's 2022. They cannot measure consciousness. So if our consciousness cannot be measured, it is not in this reality. We cannot measure it because it's air. It's something that can't be measured right now. Maybe it will be measured in the future. But right now, we don't have the tools to measure consciousness because it is not a three-dimensional thing. Just like time is not. Time is not a three-dimensional thing. We are making time three-dimensional, and that's okay. So if time is an illusion, and here we are, all of us, trying to figure things out and trying to the whole chaos is happening in the world. May I ask what's the real purpose of discussing all of these? Politely, that's okay. The purpose that I'm asking this is because why people are talking about it is that everybody's feeling something. Everybody is in this reality, right? So the purpose of discussing it is to expand our minds, to gain knowledge. Knowledge is power. And the more we know about ourselves, thank you, because this question led me into the other key. 2022, the shift in densities is going to lead you to go within. So you can come onto my lives. You can go onto other people's lives. You can go online and look and Google, but to know that you have the answers for you. So I could be telling you stuff, maybe it doesn't resonate for you. Then maybe it's not true for you. This density is showing us that we have to look internally. That's why when I say I coach you to coach yourself, I say that in a lot of my videos and a lot on my website, is because there is a lot of coaches or people that want you to depend on them. Depend on something outside of yourself. Depend on a religion. Depend on a political view. Depend on even a race. You depend on that. And it holds you, something outside of yourself. When you look inside and you stop looking in the 3D world and you start going into your consciousness, nobody can tell you what's right or wrong. Nobody. So if you, it seems like it's going faster, Erin. I totally agree. I totally agree. So if somebody tries to tell you your reality, or if you're trying to tell somebody else that they should feel like that or their reality, you have to break free of that. Because everybody is living their level of perception in this reality. We are all living our level of perception. And I'm going to repeat this again. On our conscious mind, we only get 40 bits of information per second. Our subconscious, 400 billion. That's messed up, guys. So our subconscious, that is not measured either. We can't measure subconscious, but it takes in 400 billion bits of information. So we are now only functioning on like 10% brain function. We have 90% that we don't use. I was thinking about your video earlier because I didn't see you in a long time. Oh, hi, sweet. I'm way too invested to the point that I'm going down the rabbit hole in my research to all of this. So Beyond Beauty, I'll send you, I don't know if you're on Instagram, anybody on, because Instagram, I get too many messages now that I'm like, I get stuck and I don't see them. Okay, go on my YouTube page. Write to me on my video, because I don't have many followers on YouTube for some reason, nothing. It's flopping. So if you write to me on YouTube, I get the message, and I will send you a free link to a video that will blow your mind on this about quantum physics, but very easily explained. Subconscious needs to stop hogging all the information. Right? Hold on. There's a lot of comments here. Okay. So how do you deal with an extremely narcissistic partner? Okay. So when it comes to narcissism, I'm just letting you know, we're not talking about that on this live. This live is about the shift and everything. But if you want to know more about narcissists, YouTube, Dr. Ramani. She is like, her level of knowledge on narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder, all that is amazing. Welcome to Earth with Will Smith. Oh, really? Yeah? I have to finish when you upload it. Okay. I'm going to upload it as soon as I can. Okay. You want people to understand important matters to make it lighter and less pain and hardships. Yeah, because you know what happens? You know what the cause of suffering? There's a lot of causes of suffering because we give power to things outside of ourselves. And the reason I'm telling you this, I am not like a lot of people that you will meet. A lot of people will give you information and it's because they learned it, or their guru gave it to them, or they meditated on it, or they're these little children that came into this light and they have these psychic abilities and they have this. I used to live in the darkness. I was born with a terminal blood disease that almost killed me a few times. I had abuse, physical, all kinds, okay? All kinds of abuse growing up. And I had a lot, and I'm not going to get into it too much because I have other videos on that, but I have a lot that I used to live, and I was just a regular person here on Earth, not understanding what the fuck was going on, and I didn't want to live here anymore, and I tried to commit suicide twice. Once I woke up, and once I ended up in the hospital, okay? And I'm going to be talking about that on the podcast with Joey. So I have a lot of trauma. Most of my life, we didn't have food. We were so poor that I would go a whole day without eating, and I'd have bread and butter. Like bread and butter, and I tried to make it in different ways. I would spread the bread. Sometimes I toasted it. Sometimes I squished it up in a ball. I tried to make it like, we are, like, I was just, so the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I am not any different from anybody. I'm not like these people that come into this life and just, I know to not be affected by anyone. And I just, no. I lived with pain. My life was so much pain. I was born into this world with a terminal blood disease that was killing me. Okay? How do I watch the podcast? I will be advertising it. Joey will be advertising. We'll be talking about it. Okay? If I can do it, if I can learn to heal my body and heal my mind and live in balance and manifest a different life than I had before, okay? It's anybody can do it. Anybody, all of you guys can do it. Everybody. How I'm talking right now, you guys can talk like this. You can do it. I am not this person that's like, oh, wow. No. Please don't believe. And no. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Everybody has it in them. If you hear anything that you see online, you're like, oh, I wish I was like that. You can see it. Do you know? Can I tell you guys? So Wilo, are you still on here? Yes, you are. I stumbled my. Okay, listen to this. Hey, Mischievous. Okay, perfect. Anybody who's on here, CC, the regulars that are on my live that I talk about, that I see nothing. Do you know that every day I see things now? And that's how I know. I forgot to say why I know about the shift is because I see things every day now. Do you remember how I told you guys I don't see stuff? My whole life. Do you know that I've been meditating for years? Hours and hours and hours. I'm like, can I see something like a spiritual being, a dimension? Like, I want to see something. Like, I want to, it's like, I wanted to, I was like, please. And then I was like, oh, fuck it. Then I realized maybe I'm just a regular human. I'm not meant to see anything, or I'm not. Do you know that every day? Yes. Oh my God, Brittany. Shadow people. Well, it's not shadow people. So I do see shadow people, and I thought it was scary. And I've been seeing like these dark figures, but you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing light and dark all the time. So you know how orbs, like, I don't know if you guys saw some in the live. Sometimes you could see them because I have a black background. You can see the orbs now that come in. Do you understand that I see them every day, all the time now? I have never seen this in my life. Even I can meditate for 3 hours, sit there, open my eyes, and be like, wow, this is so cool. All right, spirits or dimensional beings or extraterrestrials. Come on, I'm ready. Oh, come on. And he goes like, I can't see anything. I'm so frustrated. I told my boyfriend, I'm like, maybe that's not my reality. Maybe I'm not meant to see anything. Maybe that's what it is. And then all of a sudden now, every day, all the time, I'm like, and at first my brain was like, oh, maybe I'm my eyes, something's wrong with my eyes. And I was like, they're always in my peripheral view. Okay, I'm just letting you know, I don't know if some of you guys know, but I went to school for like many, many years in French. So sometimes I say these funny words. I appreciate the kindness of nobody making fun of me. Okay, guys, you see when you're ready to see. No, I don't even believe that, Jesseline. I don't think that you see when you're ready to see. I think it happens when it happens. And it's funny because I gave up about, I don't know, a month ago. I went, fuck it. I literally, sorry, I'm swearing. I didn't swear the whole live, but I'm like, fuck it. Fuck it. I am not meant to see something. I am not meant to see beings from other dimensions. I know people see them. I was jealous about it, kind of. I was like, and I was comparing myself. I'm like, well, how come I can't see them? Guys, if I went from my whole life, and by the way, I'm turning 40 in a month. Okay. And I went 40 years. Maybe when I was little, I saw them and I don't remember. But I went 40 years of nothing to every day now for the last week. Every day I'm like, oh, what is that? I'm seeing them in the sky. I'm seeing them everywhere. And I'm like, this is cool. Does it have to have a purpose? What do you mean, does it have to have a purpose? The seeing things? No, it's just, you know what's nice? What's nice about it is that we all kind of want to connect to something beyond us. Our hold on a second here. Yeah, sorry about that. We all want to connect to something beyond us. All of us do. All of us. And then some people are like, oh, I'm scared. So what am I seeing? I'm seeing orbs everywhere. But not on camera. You know how you see them on camera? I'm not seeing them on camera. I'm seeing them like I'm watching something or I'm talking to someone and I go like, and sometimes they're dark, like a shadow. And I keep thinking they're bugs. At first, the first day or two, I was like, oh shit, there's a bug in the house. Do you know that here in Canada, it is minus 30 degrees Celsius today? Minus 35 with the wind. Minus 35 degrees Celsius with the wind. You walk outside and your nostril hairs freeze. Like I had to bring my dogs out and they didn't even want to go out, okay? So I'm just letting you know, we are record high. There's like a warning on our phone today, okay? So there's no flies. Flies are either dead or frozen. That's my imitation of a frozen fly, okay? So we don't have flies. In the winter, they freeze and then they defrost in the summer, okay? So I keep seeing bugs and I'm laughing because I'm like, I just went to the pantry and noticed that it's cold in Ontario. Yeah, so it's really, really cold, okay? I used to see those when I was little. Anyway, it's super cool. So I'm just letting you know that anything is possible for anybody. Anything. Anything is possible for you guys. And if you're wondering why not now, how come not now? I get it. It sucks. I totally get it. But don't compare yourself to anybody. It's all in the journey. I think we all have our specific journeys that we're supposed to go through. And I wouldn't change a thing of all my darkness that I went through. Because without the darkness, it's like in the darkness, now I'm getting like all this information from the darkness. It's the darkness. If I lived in light all the time and just all the time, and I didn't see any darkness, then I wouldn't know I wouldn't have fun in this experience, in this human experience. Did I do something specific to be able to see them? Nothing. Nothing. I didn't do anything specific. Nothing. I have no idea how this happened. And the only thing that I'm like, oh my God, the shift. It's what's happening. So I think in this density, everybody can see it. In this density, we're closer to the fourth dimension. And if we get closer in densities to the fourth dimension, then maybe there's a lot more of us that can connect with our consciousness. Right? Yeah, and the more you try to manifest seeing things, the less you'll get it. That's one thing I notice. The more I focus on manifesting everything, you won't get it. Because you're attached to the manifestation. If you sit there and you're trying, and that's what I was doing. I was trying. And then I said, fuck it. Maybe my life, I am not meant to see anything. And then like a month later, it happened. So, which leads to my other thing, and I make a lot of videos on this, is that somebody asked how to untangle from Quantum Entanglement. Okay? So going back to Quantum Entanglement, if I'm going to be uploading this live on YouTube, I'm not going to explain it all that. But it also leads to manifestations and all that. People don't know how to let go of their manifestations. Okay? Yeah, Jassy? You wrote, throw it to the universe. I literally pictured this. Like, I pictured, like, this is my it's my cat toy. This is my manifestation. It's still wrong. That's what you got to do. Do you see how I let it go? That's what you got to do. So it's not about manifesting it continuously all the time. You sit there and you're focusing on your manifestation and you're hoping, you're holding on to it. So where did it go? Okay, so I have another little thing here, but I'm not going to throw this. But I'll give you an example. This is your manifestation, or this is your ex, or this is something that you want to let go of and you just want to release it out into the world, right? And I am not talking about people who have passed away, okay? I'm not talking about that. So remember, when I say about letting go, and I want to address this because a lot of people are like, I don't know how to let go of people who have passed. Listen, that's a whole other subject in its own, okay? So if you are, this is what you want this, whether this is money, a relationship, or anything in the world, anything, or you want to let go of an ex, it's like anything that has to do with this. When you hold on to it all the time and you keep looking at it all the time and focus on it, you still have it. And you're like, that's great, but you're not letting it go and you're not trusting the process. So if you're religious, that means that you don't really have faith in God. Or if you're just spiritual and you're not religious, then you don't have faith in surrendering to a higher power, surrendering to the energy of yourself, to your own power. You don't trust in yourself that the universe, or in the universe, that it's going to manifest. You don't believe it, so you just hold on to it. And then you're holding on to this thought about anything, and you're wondering why it's not manifesting. So let's say you hold on to your ex and you're wondering why you can't let go, but all you keep doing is going on their profile, on their Facebook, on their Instagram. You're looking at them, you're thinking about them, you're this, you're that, my thoughts continuous. Why can I not let go? Well, because you're holding on. The same thing with manifestations, is understanding that if we let go, what is the damage of letting this go? Okay? What about living in the end? What do you mean living in the end? Living in the end. What do you mean by that? Is it some type of attachment? So I'll answer that question. Just if you can be more specific on that. To let go. Okay? People say, how do you let go? I'm going to show you. This is actually a perfect example. Okay? People say, let go. Let go. Oh, it's so easy. I just let go. Listen, I don't think the human experience works like that, because if you watch the beginning of this live, I talk about quantum entanglement. So you can let this go, but you have quantum entanglement with this thing. Energetically, so let's say it's your ex, you have literal a cord that is now linked there to you. You have an energetic cord that is linked, you guys. So you're like, I can't let go. I can't. So this is what you got to do. And you can't cut the cord. People try doing cord cutting meditation. Listen, it works for some people. It works. Depending on the emotional, energetic connection, it works. But the same thing applies, by the way, to manifestations. If you're holding on, like me, I was holding on to the idea that I want to see dimensional beings. I want to see something beyond myself. I wanted to see stuff. So I kept holding on. And I realized, and how I released it is by doing videos for you guys. Because, by the way, the videos that I do, even if it has to do, I do videos on breakup. I did not break up, but I did do releasing. And this is how you do it, is redirecting. So entangle yourself with yourself. So the manifestation. Let's start with the ex. You want to let go of your ex? Because we all have this energetic quantum entanglement with our ex. Redirect it. So all that cord, like imagine you have a lot of cords now. You're trying to let this go, but you have love, time, passion, energy, whatever. Everything is connected. So when you redirect, you're doing this, okay? You're holding on still, and you go, love, redirect it to you. So everything that you did for him, you do it for you. Or her, or they. Sorry. I'm saying him because like I've done this. I did this at about 5-10 years ago when I was with somebody, and it works, guys. What the stuff I tell you, it's because I did it. I do not share with you anything that I have not tried and done already, okay? You redirect to you. Passion, sexuality. I'm not even joking. The energy that you keep thinking about this person all the time in a sexual, redirect it back to you. Whatever you did for them, do it for you in a way, whatever, you get what I'm saying, right? If you cooked for them a lot, or used to do their laundry, or for years and years you guys were married, and then you took so much time, you have to write a list of things that you did for them and just redirect it to you. Love to you, this. Look what happens. It lets go. Because every time you think about the person, you think about all the stuff you did for them and all the things you did and da-da-da. And then you have anger. And when you have anger, you're holding on. But when you just redirect, you're giving love, not to them. Don't give love to them. You don't even have to forgive them. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for tolerating and putting up with that. Or forgive yourself for maybe letting them treat you that way. Or everything is about you. It's not about other people. So you redirect. Now, let me do this on manifestation. Okay? So no, I'm never Beyond Beauty, I'm never ever dating again if we automatically gain entanglement. But guess what? Beyond Beauty, this is the good part. The entanglements you gain, you're now going to be aware. Now, when you meet someone, you're going to go, do I want to be quantumly entangled in this? Now you have this energetic awareness. And that is a big key for the shift, is self-awareness. So it's not about not dating. It's about now being conscious of who you're dating. And give the love to you while you date. While you date, you can let your energy go on the person, but give it to yourself, give love to yourself. So once again, if you are stuck, and if again, somebody says, if you're trying to leave a toxic relationship, it's not about, okay, it's never about the other person. You're like, I can't leave. Listen, I was in not many, I'm exaggerating. I was in 3 toxic relationships. That to me is many, because I feel like it's many years. I was in 3 massive toxic relationships, 2 even more, one with a narcissist even, okay? And I realized it's always about redirecting, because while I was with them, I couldn't leave. There was something, I had insecurities in me, I just couldn't leave. And I realized that every time I redirected, hi Tim, every time I redirected the energy back to me, then the universe supported me. And that's when it comes into the manifestation. I manifested a home. I was living in very close proximity to my narcissist ex. And I tried to let go. It never worked. And then I said, okay, I'm going to redirect. I'm going to do it to myself. And I manifested a home and an opportunity and all this stuff. I manifested it because I redirected. It's the same thing. So let's say you want something. Physical, emotional, loving, whatever it is, spiritual, right? I wanted the spiritual thing. So whatever you want, and you are holding on to it, redirect, and that's how you let go. So what I did is I actually gave up the idea that I was going to see anything spiritual, anything. I just gave it up. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on my body, because I'm good at healing my body. That is one thing I'm very good at. I've mastered when things happen. I go in full acceptance. I'm sick. I got super, super, super sick, badly sick. And I mastered loving my sickness. I was totally okay with the flu. I got a bad flu. If anything, borderline COVID. Although it tested negative, it could have been positive. I don't know. I got really sick. And I didn't get mad at myself for being sick. I didn't shame myself. I was like, oh, well, here I am in my sickness. And then I just did my meditations and I did it and I was good with it. And I gave up the idea of seeing stuff. I said, I'm just going to focus on what I'm good at and what I can do. And all of a sudden, I started seeing stuff like I told you guys. And now I'm like, oh my God, if this is possible and I can do this, That means everybody can do this. Everybody. I'm not different. I'm not. And I used to think that. I don't know if any of you guys think that. I love Teal Swan, and I love Sadhguru, and I love these people that are like, or like, I even look at Deepak Chopra. I'm like, oh my God, his brain. I wish I had a brain like Deepak Chopra. He talks like, I'm like, what is he saying? And I read his books, and I have to read, like, I have to be in this complete silent mode to read and understand his books, right? And I was like, man, that'd be amazing to live a life of so like in the cosmos and that super like, I need a brain like that. And then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, I'm just me. I'm just whatever. So I wasn't born and raised, and my mom never told me about that I saw spirits when I was a kid. And I'm so like, that's it. My mom said she knew something was different with me when I pissed everybody off. I angered everybody. I triggered everyone. She's like, I felt that you were special. I was like, that's so sweet. I trigger people. That was great. That's my gift. I get people really angry to look internally. So everybody, by the way, we all have it. We all have something. And I tell people that if you want to find your gift, it could be something that's really nice and light, but it could also be found in the darkness. What's your superpower? My superpower is I can see people's shadow. I could see people's shadow. I see the darkness in everybody. What you dislike the most about yourself is very obvious to me. Like, I see people, I'm like, yeah, that's their shadow. But I don't tell them, because then that would trigger people and they get very angry at me. How do you visualize loving yourself? Well, before you start doing the visual of loving yourself and just feeling that you love yourself, actually, you can do that. If you struggle with self-love, because that is my answer for everything, number one is self-love. If you close your eyes right now, imagine yourself in like 5 years or 2 years, okay? 2 years older. And you can picture yourself. If you have a hard time, take a picture of yourself, look at yourself, close your eyes, and imagine you're super secure, right? You're super secure. You're running around, and there's like a version of you, older, that's hugging you now. And you feel that you're good in your body. And don't picture yourself a different weight, or that you look different with a different hair color and Botox and all that. Don't do that. Literally just picture yourself happy. Like, you're just imagining yourself smiling, whether you're on a beach or, I don't like to picture beaches. Okay. Older. Well, you can picture yourself in 6 months from now. Okay. Or picture yourself tomorrow. Do you know that Joe Dispenza does this every morning? Every morning. Hey, Zoe. So imagine every morning he closes his eyes and he pictures himself smiling and okay. But my experience here on Earth is a little different than Joe Dispenza's. He does a lot of different stuff. My experience is I picture myself living a human experience, whether it's smiles and laughter, and some things make me cry. Sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I get upset. And I'm okay. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay when things make me cry and sad, or I'm okay with getting angry, because I realize that when I'm angry, it's because I don't feel like I have any power, or I feel whatever. Oh, somebody just commented on my YouTube. I appreciate that. I don't know who's there on there. Somebody from my TikTok I just got a notification. You know, I get no notifications I get them all on YouTube because I don't get many. Beyond Beauty, I appreciate that. No box. Did you write any books about your story? No. I've made videos about them. I'm not, maybe I'll write a book one day. but I'm not, every time I try to write a book, I'm forcing myself to do something, and I sit there. And now I'm working hard on taking action. And this is one thing that we have a tendency to do, is that what we do, you know how I say redirect? Picture you want to manifest this. You want this. This being the job of your dreams or the partner of your dreams. You need to take action to get this. And I don't know about you, if you guys heard this story, but there's a story of a man who believed in God very, very much. This is a story, okay? I don't know if it's real or not. I don't think it's real, but he believed in God so much that he sat there and his house was burning down, and he sat and he says, God is going to save me. But this applies to anything. Like, I manifested. I just trust the universe. I trust God. I trust the universe. I trust this so much that I'm going to sit here in my burning house. And then firefighters are coming and they're trying to save him. They're like, get out, get out. Come, I'm going to save you. No, I'm not. I'm staying on this chair. I trust that God or the universe is going to help me and save me. So more things happen. Like a person, the neighbor comes in, the alarm's going off. This person has a lot of things. Just, nope, I'm going to sit here in this chair and I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to know. I'm going to feel it. And the issue with that is that we do this as human beings. We expect that the universe or God is just here to save us, to save our souls, and to give us these answers. So we sit there in either prayer or meditation, either depending on what you sit and you pray, or you sit and you meditate, but you take no action. And you're wondering why everything is burning around you. And because you're not taking action. So I did the same thing for myself. I was, let's say, for example, I was shaming myself physically. I was really upset that I had gained quite a bit of weight over COVID, and I didn't feel energetic anymore. I was just like, my clothes, I was like, oh no, I have to buy a whole new wardrobe. My winter jacket didn't even fit me anymore. And I was like, oh God, that's expensive. I don't want to have to go and, you know what I mean? And I realized what I was doing is that I was looking in the mirror every day and try to love myself. Every day. I was looking in the mirror and I was like, I love me. I got to change my perception of me. But that's all I was doing. I was looking in the mirror, trying to manifest. I'm looking in the mirror every day, trying to love myself and trying to love myself and meanwhile, I wasn't taking any action. Yeah, I was eating better, but not much action. Not much. And I was like, it's okay. I'm just going to learn to love me for who and all this stuff. And I realized, listen to this. Instead, I said, fuck this. I'm going to take action. Very, very small actions. Very small. And I'm going to start off small. And that's it. So I started doing actions. And you know that I have not lost. I lost like nothing. A quantum level. I feel so good. It's not about the weight. I realized, holy crap, it wasn't even the weight. I feel really good. And I've been feeling good for a month now. I took action last month. And it was like nothing. It was really small actions. Like 10 minutes of conscious walking and getting my cardio up, conscious stretching, conscious eating. And that's all I did. And I realized, I was like, holy cow. And I don't know how it's working because it doesn't make sense, because I got on the scale and I'm pretty much the same weight, but my clothes are fitting me better. So my weight is redirect. And I was like, holy shit, this is quantum on a quantum level. And the reason, and this, I know this live is long, but I'm going to explain to you now that I know about the quantum physics of everything, is that our cells in our body, okay, have receptors. Our cells have receptors. So imagine like a cell, but this is the receptor. And it's kind of like a keyhole. and our emotions are continuously shooting out, and they're going into the receptors of the cell, and they kind of lock like a key, right? My emotions were continuously shame. Like, what are your emotions? You have to ask yourself, what do I feel every day? Every day, what do I feel? Generally. Okay, so if you're somebody that, like, I was pretty happy every day, but I have this little conscious feeling of not feeling good about myself physically, or comparing myself. I'm not good enough, or things like that, right? Or worry, yeah. But every day, I'm shooting out these little, what are they called? I forgot what they're called. Are they called little proteins? I think they're little proteins, neuropeptides. Am I wrong? I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this stuff. I get it, but I don't know the words, okay? So they are going into the receptors of the cell and locking in every day. But guess what? You guys, if you studied science in class, cells divide. Cells divide. So here I am creating these same emotions every day about my body, about this, about comparing myself, all that stuff. And then the cell is dividing. And now there's new receptors who are like, hey, come on, send some of that sugar. Because I have a sugar addiction. I need some sugar down here. Come on, lock in the sugar. Candy. Okay, locked in the sugar. I need the this. I need the feeling. I need you to feel down today and low. Come on, send him those cell receptors. So my brain's like, okay. So it keeps sending these crappy feelings over and over and over. And that's why I say it takes 21 days to change a habit. So I was like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to send these cell receptors of feeling, comparing myself, or firing synapses. Exactly, Joyce. What is it? Neurons that fire together, wire together. That's Joe Dispenza's, what he says, okay? But I'm talking about something else. I'm talking more about the cell receptors than the synapses. I'm talking more about the cell, the actual cells in our body that duplicate. So I have a lot of cells that are duplicating that we can change it. You can change it in a day. You can change it in a day. The issue is that over time, the cells are going to still crave, and we're still going to crave. So what are you, it's kind of like an addiction. What are you craving in your life? And my body, I had depression for so long. I had depression as long as I can remember when I was younger. So my body craved sad, depressive feelings. It craves it. And I'm like, I don't want, so anything that I can feel depressed about, come on, give it to me. So I'll crave sugar because sugar makes me feel good, small. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm just bloated. I don't feel good. Oh, I feel so bad. So that's my craving. My body is literally on a cellular level craving sadness and depressed or anxiety. If you have anxiety, your cells, and you're like, it's okay, I just have anxiety. If you say I have anxiety, you are claiming it as you. When you could just say, I'm feeling anxiety right now. So remember that. Are you feeling anxiety, or do you have it? Because if you have it, that means it's on a cellular, your subconscious knows that you have it on a cellular base. Like it is, the anxiety now is an addiction. Like your body is literally going, all right, send me some of that anxiety. So you will now go into the world like, oh my God, oh shit, my exams or my work, my job, my this, my kids, like it's going to be because your body is craving that on a cellular level. So you can just be, and guess what? Guess what I say all the time? It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. That's all it is. So just be aware that you are craving anxiety, craving depression, craving stupid shit. Whatever, the body becomes the third mind. Actually, some scientists believe the body and the stomach and the cells are a first mind. They're even stronger than your brain. Some people, because our brain, we can think about stuff, But our stomach, we don't think with our stomach, but we do. Right? We don't think with our organs and our body. But if you guys know how crazy connected we are, is I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. I had a kidney transplant. Okay. So I'll tell you exactly what happened. So I had a kidney transplant in 2006 and my mom was the donor. Okay. So I went complete kidney failure. My body shut down and I went half blind, in and out. I couldn't see. And I had a newborn baby. My daughter was when I went into kidney failure, I was pregnant with my daughter. So for a year, I was looking for a donor and all this stuff. So my mom ended up being a match. She went through 1 year, all the process of like giving a transplant. It's very, very like detailed. And you're a dialysis nurse. Awesome. So you know, right? But I've never been on dialysis because I got the transplant. They took my daughter out and then I was able to be for a year. I almost went on dialysis, but they said, nope, you're getting a kidney transplant. I am not kidding you. This is what happened, okay? I'm lying in bed and I remember I was in the hospital when I was pregnant with my daughter. I was in the hospital for about 4 to 5 months straight. And she almost didn't live. I almost died a few times. And it was so bad. I was 113 pounds at 6 months pregnant. And I'm 5'7". Okay. I was like I have pictures. I'm like just tiny, skinny little, and my belly, you could almost see, you know, the belly, like I was so, and I was in the hospital for most of my pregnancy. And I actually made it fun. It's so weird. I was always optimistic in my life. So we used to have parties. We would put on gowns, like hospital gowns with the stars. And on Friday nights, me and my friends at the thing. So we always kept optimistic. It's not about being positive. Because listen, it's not a positive situation right now. My body is dying. My baby may not make it, but I kept optimism. Like I was like, I'm going to make the best of where I am. So I was in the hospital and we were doing that. I gave birth. My daughter was 3 pounds, very, very little. I almost died. And I have a lot of pictures with my parents, all that stuff. And then within the year of testing, my mom testing, through that year, I was in the hospital most of the time. I'm just letting you know, my whole life up to that moment, I was not a morning person ever. I hate coffee. I hated coffee. Like I smelled coffee and it smelled like tequila kind of thing. Like if I ever took a shot of coffee, I was like, I couldn't stand it, right? And I was not a morning person. I could not, like none of that stuff. And for the first week, so I was in the hospital all the time. I always had the regular things that would happen to me. Do you know that my mom gave me a kidney? And the day after the transplant, or maybe the same day, I think it was the same day. I remember, I think I'm going to say the day after because I remember it being the day after. My mom is very much of a morning person. Vacuuming at 5 a.m. used to drive me nuts as a teenager. But I woke up at 5 a.m. like ding, my eyes were wide open. And the nurse every morning would come and take my blood. And you hate coffee, but you love sugar. Those are two different things. Anyway, the nurse would come and take my blood. And this nurse I knew very well because I was in the hospital for 4 months, like every day. And she would take my blood every morning. They take your blood. They do everything. She sees me. She goes, "Oh, you're awake." And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm like craving coffee. I was craving coffee. You don't understand. I do not like coffee. My mom would have 3 to 4 coffees a day. I was craving coffee and I was like, I feel it. And then somebody walked in with coffee and I was like, oh man, does that smell good? And I was like, that's so weird, random. And the nurse, so I told the nurse, I was like, I feel like a coffee. She's like, you can't drink coffee. The first 3 months of a transplant, you shouldn't drink coffee. So I was like, I really want coffee. And it was funny because I kept smelling it. And like, you know, when people hold their coffee cups like this and they're like, I was like craving, I wanted the coffee. So I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So, and then I woke up. So the nurses told me that it is very common that transplant patients, heart, kidney, lung, liver, okay? Yes, organs have brains, exactly. People actually could have memories and feelings and thoughts of their donor. So organs hold information. I really want coffee now. Organs hold memory and they hold information. So this is known. So the dialysis nurse who was on here, I'm sure you've heard of this because apparently this is very common. And then I started having dreams of things that I've never lived before. And my mom's like, oh my God, you're having my memories? And I was like, this is so weird. I'm having random cravings and thoughts and things like this. On a cellular level, I was craving coffee. And my mom had a massive addiction to coffee. Not so much anymore. But so now I drink coffee once in a while. And I really enjoy it. And I hated coffee before. This is just one example. Okay? Anyways, I just realized that I've been on live for almost 2 hours. And I really want to upload this live to YouTube because it's super important about the whole shift and everything. And this is a really long live. I feel like it's more like a podcast. The human body is insane. Exactly. And speaking of the human body, I could feel my stomach about to growl too. And this is... Did you guys hear that before I go? See, I was like, ding, manifesting. Oh, yeah. So I'm super hungry. I don't know if you guys heard it. No, nobody heard it. Nobody's acknowledging. Anyway. Yeah, right. Exactly. So I want to thank you guys, for that. All of you guys. No, you didn't hear it. Okay, good. Because that was really loud. I did. Yeah. Well, I'm uploading this live and you guys are going to hear it on the YouTube. My nice growling of my stomach. So I want you guys to know that I love you guys very much. We are quantumly entangled. That's my thing now. And you keep seeing floaty things behind me. Well, there you go, Wilo. You got it too. You got it too. We all see it. If you see it, it's there. That means you have it. Okay? Everybody has it. Just look internally. And if you guys missed the... yes, I do drink coffee now. And I crave coffee and I still love coffee. And I'm like, I limit it, but yeah, I do. So, I want to say I love you guys. And if you missed any of this live video, follow me on YouTube. It's the same name. And I'm going to upload and it's all the details about it. And side note, if you guys want to go and like the video that I just posted, I give an explanation. So if you don't want the super long live right now of the explanation, just there's a short video about 1.5 minutes. Okay? Entangled siblings. Exactly. I love you guys. Yeah, my soul fam. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Okay? Have a nice day.